Hey, welcome to the Pharmacy Residency Podcast, a member of the Pharmacy Podcast Network. Excited to give you a bit of news from ASHP for Midyear and then some other things. But let's start with first the letter of intent. If you want help with your letter of intent, just go to residency.teachable.com and click on the Extreme LOI Makeover, where I will help you with up to 2 letters of intent. And you get all of the course free, so the video and audio guides talking about letters of intent and CVs and all of those things, because I really want you to become a student of the process, and that's going to make sure that you're going to do a lot better. Second, if you need a little more help, residencyhelp.com, you can find some tips on interviews, letters of intent, recommendations, and then free books as well. Okay. But let's talk about the big news. So the big news is that for ASHP Midyear, student members, resident members, and technician members are going for free. So they just announced today that if you are an ASHP student member, a resident member, or a technician member, you're going for free. And this is great news and bad news, and I'll tell you why that is in a minute. The other flip side of that is that there are 0 booth fees, which means that as many residencies can sign up as they want with 2 free member representatives. And this is where it's going to come into having those bigger programs where they might have to pay a little bit more to have more staffing, I guess is what the word would be, for those residency showcases. And the big deal is that since we're lowering the barrier for students, we're lowering the barrier for sites. I think this has the potential to be the very biggest ASHP Midyear they've ever had. And it's going to be a matter of how do you stand out when the crowd has gotten even bigger and then the potential sites have gotten even bigger. How do you ask the right questions? Where do you go? Brian Fung had a great video. I've had a past video on this, and we'll talk a bit more as we get closer to the day. But just to let you know, ASHP Midyear is free and certainly reasonable if you're not a member. I think it's $219 for students, $274 for residents, $244 for technicians, then $634 for pharmacists. And I'm pretty sure it's like APHA where you sign up for a meeting, then maybe you get a year's membership along with that. I'm not sure. That's something you'd have to check on. But anyway, just wanted to let you know the big news. And the key really to succeeding in this midyear, in this virtual midyear, is knowing what you're about before you get there. And the easiest way to do that is through the letter of intent. Because by doing the hard work of figuring out, okay, what do I really want? Where do I really want to go? And you do it beforehand. That way, when you're interacting with these people, you're saying, you sound like you know what you're talking about. It's not, hey, I'm just coming in to check things out. I'm just browsing. Rather, you're very specific about what you're looking for, what you want. And I think that there's going to be some real opportunities for those that really grab it as far as audio quality, as far as video quality, as far as doing chats in a way that makes sense and makes you memorable. So we'll talk about all these things as we get to the day, but just the exciting news out of Midyear, it's free for those 3 groups. And then again, if you want help with your letter of intent, just give me a buzz, tonythepharmacist@gmail.com or residencyhelp.com, or just go right to the course, residency.teachable.com. Have a good week.